Hi there, everybody. So this is on a Sunday, 1 o'clock, 12:50 we have here, European time. And it is Bundesliga 2 about to start, or within half an hour or 40 minutes. And yeah, I would like to come back to certain things, and maybe you've noticed I tried to clean up and get to the top here. I wouldn't know how to ask Reinhard Messner. And yeah, getting back to some things I tried to point out, or yeah, video assisted preview. This preview here I've done right yesterday, for example. It is German Bundesliga, and I watched the games, and maybe some of you did as well, and maybe some even followed my advices, and they've gone badly wrong. And this is the experience you might make with any, such thing. I'm also, afraid of somehow to tell you some bets I'm about to do, also because I think, oh, you will be frustrated instantly and think, well, what is this guy talking about? So, but just to show you one example, I'm gonna do a review of those and do it myself. I analyze the games, I look at them, and of course I got all those data in here. And now those were the four picks I ended up with, and following this here, you will remember, but this was a 1-1, so this is a push, right? This is draw no bet, so that it has been a draw, and this was a 1-1, so this is a loss. And Augsburg is +1 here. It was +1.25 before, but maybe for midweek this had changed up here, right? You see that? It had been +1.25, but and this was very unlucky, so this was also a push. Very badly unlucky, and this was even worse because this was, yeah, let's put it from Stuttgart's point of view, they were the away side. So this was another loss. So 2 pushes, 2 losses, just to get used to that. What starts happening if you follow someone, professional? What is he doing? He's losing his money, like we all do. Okay, so no profit, nothing about it. And of course, now we can have a look at the games, or we simply, we can look at the stats also, and we can, yeah, for example, let me see here. So what was the games we had been on? This was Schalke against Leverkusen. I mean, it was a push anyway. And this looks very balanced here, right? I mean, Schalke were better on this, a bit worse on this. In corners, they were good. Possession a bit behind. Crosses a bit behind, but not as much as expected. And tackles, they were a bit ahead. So this comes pretty up to what I could have foreseen. So we have to consider this, I can call it neutral, because it was so neutral, right? It was neither good nor bad. So, and you have to make sure you're not on the wrong side, right? The game's gonna end in some kind of, at least we got this one. So and this is a very obvious mismatch here. And okay, we could argue about lots of things here in this game, right? If you watched it or did a bit about it, also in abroad, right, in foreign countries. But there was a sending off and against Frankfurt. So from then on, but actually, I mean, this was really a ref. Of course, this should be part of the discussion, and it's also wasted and so silly what they thought they would introduce there. And so, yeah, I would like to get back to this and the other parts of my videos when I talk about football in general, rules and things. And this one is not going well at all, and they notice in the whole world. And okay, I found some videos. Actually, I made some research this morning because I wanted to see what people in the world think about it, and they noticed already, because for the World Cup 2018 and they still think it's gonna be very, very big, and it may be okay, but I'm a bit skeptical about that. Make it grow, make it bigger, 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 and they try to hit everyone. And remember the Euro 2016, and that was more famous for the maybe for the supporters here from the Icelandic supporters or things like that, but no more. Yeah, you know, it was, for me, it was not such a great football event. It was maybe the surroundings, but not the football itself. And this is anyway what I would argue about. Football is not so interesting the way it's been played at the moment. You can play yourself, or you can watch juniors playing, or amateur clubs. Then it's fun, it's exciting. They wouldn't hurt each other, or sometimes they might do, but they are ambitious and so on. But anyway, the World Cup, they intend to bring the video ref in there, and they might reconsider now with those experiences, which are no good at all. But anyway, the video ref, the referee had awarded a penalty, and for me this was a penalty and a sending off. And the video assistant referee said it was outside the area. So this is what I was about to do, or right, and look for some videos here. Gladbach against Hanover. Here, the football assistant, you see here the headlines. And this was what I was trying to find. YouTube, should I start this here? And maybe find this Frankfurt against Stuttgart video referee, something like that. Would we find this? No, 2 years ago. Well, I'm not sure that if they had been posted already, and maybe, okay, well, we just, I would like to explain this, what happened, and maybe we have some pictures later, and it's not that, I mean, they said it had been outside the penalty area, and so the penalty had been taken back. The sending off had been stood, but the penalty had been changed the opinion, right? So it had not been a penalty awarded. So this was why Stuttgart did not take the lead at that point. Maybe if they would have converted the penalty, and anyway, they were clearly on top. But maybe for that sending off. But the sending off, I would say, I mean, the striker was through. So why was it a professional foul against him, right? He was or he was brought down somehow at the edge of the area. So, and for me it was a penalty, and it was a correct decision, because the foul may have started outside, but it went on until inside the penalty area. Anyway, I mean, the stats may have influenced by that, but Stuttgart looked the better side before, so that was a very unlucky. I mean, we had plus 3.7, only slight edge to Frankfurt, which was made this a bet, right? Because I said that is almost an even game, which is not quite the case, but close to. And actually, Stuttgart came out clearly on top, partly because of that sending off. Yeah, but the penalty had been taken back. But in all areas, expect the crosses, okay, possession, yeah, no, tackles, okay. But so this was a really good one. I mean, we have to say that was a good bet, right? I mean, I can't do, but yeah, you can't, you can say, argue about this red card, but it was, yeah, it was anyway, it was one. There should have been a goal, right? Augsburg had been excellent, better than excellent, right? You can see those stats here, and the expectancy was minus 16%, and it was almost even, right? Augsburg, and if you watched it, the second half, and Bosch said later, the Dortmund coach said after the game, the worst game ever since he was coach, and has not so many games. But I predicted this to happen after the Wednesday disaster, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday disaster for Germany. Those teams, you know, they are somehow in a mess. What could you expect, right? They couldn't play football, really. I mean, the two goals. Yeah, this is the first goal. If you saw that Yarmolenko, it was a back heel, right? And he kicked it, but it was just because of the deflection there. I mean, you would say, who dares shooting with a back heel, or who has this instant reaction to try to score like that. Anyway, it was deflected, and that's why it went in. So otherwise you would say, what is he doing there? Why doesn't he play the ball back and someone else shoots? But that's the way things go, the results that count, judging on results, which is the most silly thing you can do, but they don't do anything else. But first of all, you got to bring the ball towards the goal. So this is what he's done, and then you got the chance of scoring. Anything else, you wouldn't. You can the players make own goals. But this was actually the first goal as well. Were those two players that Frankfurt took, right? The first goal. Anyway, it doesn't matter that much now. All that happened was first goal was this back heel. Okay, well taken, but only by deflection went in. The second goal was very well taken, but this was the occasion when the two defenders, they were in control of the ball, but they stumbled over each other, and then was this Kagawa was free, and he made an excellent goal. Whatever, it was a great goal, but there's some kind of present or some luck involved anyway. Otherwise, Dortmund did not play really, so shots they didn't get as many. And Augsburg were better here, and Augsburg were pretty close here, and they were okay in corners. Possession was about expected, and crosses, they were clearly on top. So this made it almost even, right, with all those crosses coming in and the corners. So it made it almost even, which is on a +1. I mean, you had a +1, and okay, but you can still say the better team, they are going to score. So because they know how to score, and the weaker team does not. But this is not, it's not really fair. This was a very, very good bet, and why would Bosch otherwise say this was the worst game ever since I've been coach here? Okay, because they were no good. But about the Wolfsburg, I have to say, I mean, this was pure rubbish, and I can't really, when I saw it, I saw Mainz and they were so good, and why did I, but the stats and stuff like that. Here you see 6-10 against them, 3-3, okay, just balanced, but no good, and corners, possession below, just the crosses were okay. So they were just barely the better side, which you can argue about, and it was expected to be. So this was just, I was -0.5, so no way, right? So what can we say now in the end? I mean, this is a ratio I'm happy about, right? I get the 2-to-1 ratio on good or bad bets, and this is what you need, right? 2-to-1. I mean, this is a dream, but still, you can say in the end, I'm gonna come pretty close. Maybe I can show you stats about this later, but here at least, I had some decent picks. I mean, it was okay to this end. I mean, if you lose to, okay, go ahead, but please change your mind and go look for the bad side and say, okay, I should have taken the other side. In Wolfsburg, I could argue, but I know those stats can also just happen, right? Wolfsburg took the lead, but it wasn't really deserved, and then they couldn't bring it home. So anyway, it was a bad one, so forget it. Don't go for bad bets, or don't regret to lose them. But the good ones, you shouldn't lose it. But I should have won Augsburg, actually. They were so close to equalizing, and Stuttgart, that was the last kick of the game. If you saw that bicycle kick, 10 against 11. They were a man down, but you can't say, okay, well done Frankfurt, that you, even in the last 5 minutes, but they should have done a goal at least. But at that point, all of a sudden, they went forward, which was really amazing. I mean, how did they manage? Because Stuttgart was so clearly on top, but this is football. Anyway, so I think that's a pretty decent one so far to this end, and I'm gonna stop here. So hope you enjoyed. Hope you come back, leave your, and visit my, come back soon. I'll be there. Thanks.